Welcome to Sad Boys, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
Did I fuck that up by stretching my neck and saying ow?
I don't think so. I said it after you said that.
But do you think it's like organic? Like people are like, wow, it's like I'm there. I'm here with my friends.
My friends also have neck pain.
Oh, my friends are... Hey, yeah, if you ever want to relate to the Sad Boys podcast experience, let it be known. This is a room of people with very specific chronic issues with joints and body
I
parts.
feel like we need to bring back the foam rolling break that we used to have.
We replaced it with lunch.
There's a foam roller right there. We did replace it with lunch, but there's always time to foam roll.
I think I foam rolled, if not last week, the week before.
The real thing is I'm not foam rolling enough. I'm not foam rolling enough, and I'm not stretching enough.
Can I give you that feedback?
Honestly,
I never see you roll around anymore.
And feedback is a gift. And I haven't been rolling. I also need to be doing stretching. I'm sometimes at my desk and I put my leg up and I can feel some stretching happening, but I need to do
You feel like cobwebs blasting off of you.
I need to do like all my...
I wish I had been like educated on it.
Yeah.
And like given it as a rhythm, the same way that you know there's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, at 11 a.m. you do your calisthenics, you move your body around.
I do feel like you can get, with all of your body stuff, you can probably get into PT, and then they will give you some stuff. I will say, I would love, like, if I could, I don't know, have a guy that would just come and like dump a bucket of water on me.
Pick you up by your legs.
We've talked about this guy.
No. And then,
guy.
yes, different guy. So this guy, on Craigslist, they need to be able to disappear. That's the main thing. So I'm wake up, they like dump some water on me, but it's a special kind of water that doesn't get my bed wet.
Yes. And it only feels good.
And it only feels good. And then I'm up, and then he's like, and now it's time for the stretches. And then I start doing the stretch, and then they disappear again. And they only come in when it's time to interact. I do think the AI chatbot could do this.
You want like Navi? You want like, hey, hold down Z button to stretch out your hamstrings.
Where the fuck is the Z button? I'm a guy. Yeah, I don't have a button, dude.
You know how when you go to physical therapy and they do targeted heat?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. They like send heat right to the muscle. That's like...
I've done one time, actually a couple times, they've done cupping to me too.
Yeah.
And it's not like a normal thing that they do, I feel like, regularly, but
no.
I now I understand the people who have those circles on them.
I have a question.
It just brings blood to the area.
I'm like, I do love a bit of pampering.
Mm-hmm.
However, been thinking about, there's a LA institution, for those that don't know, called Wii Spa, W-I. And I believe Wii Spa is...
Sorry, is that like Wii Sports Resort?
Yeah, you can buy... I need a nunchuck. That's the thing that's holding me back. I don't have Motion Plus or whatever.
You don't have the condom.
that's
Sorry, I guess that's...
weird silicone fabric
now that's
one.
a thing that people... Hold on, I need to give a brief history lesson. Do you know... I'm asking our resident Gen Z. Do you know? Sorry, Jacob, you've been dethroned. You're a tweener now.
Yeah.
Do you know when I say "we condom" what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. So listen.
That makes sense.
They think you're talking about a wee condom.
A teeny weeny.
It's
one. Yeah.
I would assume you're talking about the cover that goes on the remote.
Yes. So
I've
that's
never heard it called that.
Well, here's the thing. So back in the day, back in the early days of the Wii, the people weren't putting on the wrist strap.
The necessary OSHA
certified. Yeah.
And they were like destroying their television.
They were doing like throwing a baseball and having the controller slip out of their hand, and especially because
we did
people.
Do that. We did break a TV doing that.
You did?
Yeah. No. Well.
Jarvis almost died.
I can't believe you.
Why would you do that?
I had a weird burp, but I just didn't want to.
You said we. How much are you attributing your sisters to this?
No, it was. I don't remember which one it was. It was.
It's like all five of them.
I think it was.
It's like father son.
The ghost of one of your sisters, right?
I think it was the sister right above me and her friends.
The power of 5 sisters.
Yeah, they each imbue it with a little more speed and force.
They were playing Just Dance, which is a crazy one to throw it to.
Well, actually, you're supposed to throw ass, not controllers.
Not controllers.
But yeah, so Nintendo, they out of their own pocket, you could just go on a website and ask for a big like bumper for your Wiimote, and it was like this big silicon bumper. Can we pull it up, Jacob?
I remember we always had those on, and then when we started playing, we would take them off because they were annoying to hold.
How's your
And
TV
then you,
doing,
how's the
mate?
TV?
We got a new one. It's fine.
Damn.
Oh wait, this is okay.
It is
That's
so-
the original.
I mean, it's so explicitly.
It is. It is like. So it's funny because that is a third party one. So it's crazy that there's a company still like. They like made they used that tool. That they use when I'm at the orthodontist that like gets a 3D
Just
model of my
scan it,
teeth,
yeah.
and then they
What the hell?
It does. So we called
Does
it the
not-
condom because it looks disgusting.
It really doesn't photograph well.
It did look like that though. It had these like little air bubbles or whatever.
Plus, the
And
proper way to put it on is
They should have made it.
pinch the
you put
tip
it on a
and roll
banana
down.
first to practice.
Do you ever, you know when you're trying to put this on your Wiimote controller and you do it the wrong way? You roll it
then
the
you
wrong way
get
and you're like, this one's
pregnant.
fucked. Great.
Yeah. I was like, there's way too many holes in this to prevent pregnancy.
And sometimes I can never really tell if I'm just being like slowly worn away culturally, but I feel like I should be more anxious about like a gun, like the concept of a gun.
I am anxious about a gun,
It's like
but
I think about the bad utility, but if I see like a gun service, go like, okay, it's guns.
oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, I feel the same way, but I don't want to wield a gun personally. And so if I'm in a gunfight, I'm not bringing a gun to a gunfight. I'm saying I'm Alexander Hamilton. I'm like, you got me.
There's
That's what he
something,
did, right? Hey.
Hey, brother.
Jordan. I think you're bringing up something that is so American. Congratulations, you're American.
This is a citizenship test.
Because
What is this? It is a photo of a gun. It's my gun, my sawed off.
If I didn't
growing
bring
up
one,
in Arizona with a father who was an artilleryman in the army and had a lot of guns, you do get desensitized being around guns. Like, it is absolutely true. Like, in Arizona, you go to the gas station, a guy pulls up next to you on a Harley. He has an ankle holster, a hip holster,
That
and a
stuff-
shotgun holster in the back of his
that
Harley.
feels like virtues. Are you going to war?
No,
it's
they're
like,
just trying to look cool.
Are you gonna triple wield like Zolo?
Zolo, dude, shout out.
But
And he
like,
says he's not Japanese.
I think we do get desensitized to
Yeah.
it. And last night, actually, I was watching a Korean film called The Roundup. It was really interesting because it's a bunch of Korean cops who like go to Vietnam to find a guy. And
Sorry, it's just funny that it's a Korean
know, it's a
movie, and it's
Korean
like there's
movie.
these Korean cops in it.
And there's like they've got this like version of cops that I guess are Korean, whatever you call
but
it.
it was so
They're like
fascinating because
onions.
there's no guns in this movie. It's all
Oh,
like
yeah.
stabbing. And then there at one point, a guy does have a gun, and the cop just walks up, snatches it out of his hand, looks at it and goes, "Oh shoot, it's real." Because they're so used
Oh
to
shoot
people
is a
having
very funny, good presence of mind for the cop to say "oh shoot" about a gun.
Oh, what does this do?
they're just so used to people having fake guns.
Mm.
And it being like it's so hard to get a real gun. So the whole movie, I'm just like, this is so not American. Like,
Yeah.
I was feeling like, why aren't they just shooting these guys?
Carrying a bunch of guns, like having the backup holster, and I'm open carry and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what is this? What are you trying to do?
There's a level of cosplay because I don't deny that there is a valid like self-defense case, right? But there is also this like LARPy element because it's like, what do you
100%.
think is about to happen?
Yeah,
like,
what is it? So your backup revolver to your 50 cal sniper rifle that you're carrying on your back. That's so that if somebody comes and tries to steal your TV, you can.
it feels
snipe
like
them.
too many action movies where someone takes your gun and you've actually got a separate gun
Nice
that they don't
try.
know about. I've actually got the ankle holster. It's a tiny gun.
Shoot you. Oh.
I do think
It's my
that,
cane. My cane's a gun too.
especially in Arizona and places like Arizona,
The desert.
it is a very like fashion thing. It's LARPy in a sense where it's like this guy pulls up on a Harley and he's got a bunch of guns, and then you later find out that he works as an accountant.
It's
Working-
just, he's wearing
working
a Sons of
Harl.
Anarchy.
Working Harl or Harley working.
Hey.
I do think that like the access to guns is kind of crazy. Like you're at Walmart and it's like, oh, I'm looking for like laundry detergent and I entered the gun zone by accident.
There's the thing, when I moved here for the first time, I don't think, especially if you're coming from like like England is so self-contained and you're never like more than a couple hours from like a given city or whatever. And I couldn't conceive of something as large as the United States, something as like at that scale that wasn't a continent, right? And so when I got here, I'd always heard the thing about like Walmart and the gun and so and so.
Walmart and the gun.
Walmart and the old gun. The old
Sounds
man
like
and the gun.
an AI's idea of a Western.
A man hangs out. But I just didn't. I found out that Walmart, not really in California, very rare, and that the ones that are here don't have the guns. And I went like, oh, right, that's just from movies, exaggeration or something. I didn't like really conceive of how different a state by state thing could be.
Right.
And then we went to Dallas.
We did go to Dallas
7 years ago, something like that. And we
that Dallas Cowboys plush is from our trip to Dallas.
Bam.
Wow.
But I remember we went there, and there's like gun stores in California, but like there's like single digit in a 20-mile radius, right?
Also, they're all in Burbank because Los Angeles doesn't really, Los Angeles, the city, doesn't really allow for that sort of thing. But if you go to Burbank, it is a
Make it up for lost
heaven
time.
of gun stores and nerd stores. You want to play board games? You want to paint minis?
You want
go
a
to Burbank.
pre-primed miniature to shoot at a range? Problem solved.
Oh my God,
brother.
you get a tiny gun for your orc.
Oh,
Yeah, don't play with
that's
that
so
too hard.
Yeah.
If
But
you're really careful.
There's literally a massive store in Burbank called Gun World. It's very fun.
What do they have?
Knives.
Oh.
Funny enough, it's on the way to a Walmart.
Wow.
Dude, it's like how Best Buy undercuts other businesses.
Yeah.
When I was back home over Thanksgiving break, my
Missouri?
dad, it's in Missouri. My dad lives in an area where it's like pretty secluded and there's like a lot of deer that come around like every night, every morning.
I have a lot of deers that come around me too.
And-
Ladies.
Oh, like women?
And I
No.
kept telling my dad, I was
Animals.
like, I said, you have to put a salt lick out here. And he was like, I'm going to have 100 deer. And I was like, that's the point. And it's
a salt lick, as in
salt
like a
lick.
cube.
Yeah.
A
Like
cube
with
of
a
salt.
big old cube of salt.
A big
You
cube
can buy
of
a
salt.
big one like
Yeah, and I went and asked. I'm in the gun area. I'm like, this is where it would be. And
Yeah.
I asked one of the employees, and I was like, do you guys have any salt licks? And she was like, oh, we're all out. And she goes, you're not really supposed to be doing that right now. And I was like,
Huh?
oh, I'm not hunting. I just want to see
Oh.
the deer. And so I forgot that that's just going to be what they assume. And I'm
I'm
like,
just
do
hungry.
I look like? I'm like dressed like that. I'm like, do I look like I'm going to hunt a deer?
Yeah, you're dressed in like
dressed
a
like one.
you're dressed like a member of Team Aqua. Like I'm a Pokemon trainer. Actually, I understand the confusion.
I just want to catch them all.
I noticed you're dressed as a toy chica. Are you interested in getting a rifle for the costume? You got
Affirmative.
You weren't even able to bring your mighty blade almost.
Oh
You
my
just went to a
god!
con
Yeah,
and you
I
almost
made
lost
I made a sword. My friends and I were doing a group cosplay of the Swords of Justice for Pokemon, and I was Keldeo.
It
And
was
I-
really
Cool.
and
Wow, cool.
hell yeah, you're a big Keldeo head.
I am.
Would you say it's your favorite?
He's my favorite mythical /
Boy,
legendary.
here we go.
Here we go. dude.
Joel take on number
Joel
one.
takes
They
my
can't.
favorite.
They can't decide. Gen
Joel
Z.
takes
They
my
can't-
favorite.
They can't choose a. Well, okay.
They want a trophy.
Well, then
for
where's your
everything.
tattoo?
Oh,
Okay,
good.
fine.
No, okay, yeah, you
No, but
couldn't
yeah,
get through security.
On the way there, it was in pieces because I was gonna put it together in the hotel. So
Forge
the
it.
blade, the blade and the hilt were separate, and it got through just fine. And then on the way back, it's all together.
Hmm.
And this woman pulls it out. I took it out of the bag so I could go to them and be like,
What was
hey,
it made of?
It 3D printed
Oh, okay.
and then painted. And
Mithril.
I took it out of the bag specifically so I could go up to them
Adamantite.
and be like, hey, you're gonna see a sword. It's not real. Like I wanted to present it.
You're
to the-
insane.
And then before I could even, she like grabbed it and she just like looked at me and like raised an eyebrow.
She's wielding it.
And I was like, it's 3D printed. She goes, yeah, it can't go through.
I fly to Denver sometimes because my
Wow,
dear friend
spooky.
Gabe lives in Denver.
That's
Gabe
the
is in
evil
Denver.
airport, right? Or whatever, Ghost.
It has an evil blue horse that greets you
Oh,
with
Blucifer.
bright red eyes, and he's like,
Is there also?
I'm
No,
not
I'm thinking of
flying that, mate.
Pittsburgh.
They
I was
call
like,
it that
What the
What
fuck?
the hell?
because it's scary, and also it killed the guy that.
yeah,
made
the
it.
guy who made it got killed by it.
That's a really
What?
big horse.
That's outside the Denver
what
airport.
got killed by it? It like fell on him or something, or
Yeah.
it became alive.
It ate him.
Yeah. it ate
Well,
him.
we didn't see it, so maybe.
Wait,
And then his son finished it.
why is that one photo of its ass?
Well, because it's like weird how detailed the ass is. I don't know.
Maybe that's what killed him.
How do
Is
you
it actually red, or
ass?
is
Is
it
it
like-
Its
another?
eye is actually red.
It looks like another horse's face is in its
That's
ass.
It's
really
a blue
funny.
horse with red eyes that light up at night. And this is at the entrance to the airport, so you drive in. But this isn't actually the best part of the airport. The worst part of the airport is everything else. It's so hard to get around if you have a connection.
The one with the clouds. It's like they know what they were doing. It's like
we got.
it didn't cause the
so-
storm.
That's true. It's spending its gauge.
Also, it's impossible to know
Just
when it's
mid-cut
going to
scene.
snow in Denver.
Mm.
And so it's like May, you think you're in the clear, and then all of a sudden you get there and it is a blizzard, and they have to, spray down every plane before it takes off.
Can we look up the news story of how it his
Killed
summon
its
killed
owner.
him?
Yeah.
Go,
It does look like a
Blucifer.
summon. Who is the summon that's a horse?
Blucifer.
Oh, I'm thinking of
Halcyon.
Damn.
Well, Denver Airport also, the only way to get between terminals is this underground tram thing. And
Right.
apparently, a couple weeks ago, there was a power outage in which the tram wasn't working, and so people couldn't get to their gates.
I'd rather take a horse.
And you will.
It's truly the worst.
You land in the A terminal. You have to go on the tram to B, and then it is a straight line or loop. So you have to get from B1 to 99.
Yeah.
And it's just like a 30-minute walk. And if you have a connection less than an hour, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
Okay, so can I talk about one of the primary issues with Blucifer? They keep using the active voice. Killed its creator. It's not alive.
The wild beast.
It didn't like do it.
No,
It's
it
like-
wasn't. It was its intention.
Go look at now think of no, but literally like look at how this is like the opposite of when they say like a bullet came in contact with a child.
This is some
You know what I
kind
mean?
of
Like-
kinetic situation.
Yeah, the 32-foot blue horse killed its creator. A large section of the cast fiber sculpture broke loose from a hoist in the studio.
Yeah, that guy wasn't
Pinning him.
That guy wasn't murdered by the Segway. A section of it fell on him at his studio. So they then took it anyway.
They were like, "Hey, close enough."
The sun finished it, and then
Dude,
The sun rose.
the sun trapped the soul of his father in the horse.
It does, by the way. You mean his offspring? I did. When you say the sun finished it, it was like a clay thing that needed to be baked in heat. The sun will rise and it will finish the blue Mustang, giving it its red
the
eyes.
sun imbued it with the nectar of
I
its
know
You
that-
can see in its eyes a sampling of the sun.
I've got to say, it's, 1992, the dollar's a little different. 300 grand for a 32-foot horse made of fiberglass. Pretty good price.
Yeah, pretty good price.
Not bad. I'm not paying that. But I'm certainly not getting paid to be killed by it in my studio.
What did the giant, awful woman in San Francisco cost?
They should call it the Blucifer because this guy's name was Luis.
San Francisco giant
Oh.
woman statue
What?
cost
Who's this giant woman? Huh?
300,000
Wow, and that's like modern
in today's
times.
money.
Today's
Okay, so-
money.
Did it kill its creator?
Wait, hang on. 45
It's
to
killing
50 foot?
me.
Does it change its posture?
Yeah, it stands up. It's like that Gundam in Japan.
Like,
And it looks like the point
What?
of the ferry building is going up her asshole.
Oh no. Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
what's she doing?
She's just vibing.
By the way, after Attack on Titan came out, you can't just do naked people.
Yeah, you can do
Like
nude.
who look
Barbie.
a little weirdly proportioned because I'm expecting that to start running after
Too
me.
Yeah.
scary.
Um
Wait, sorry. Hold on. wait. Go down. What was it? Okay. I thought the name was Dash Ketchum.
Oh,
It's Dana Ketchum. But
I also said
Dash's mom.
I think it's pretty majestic. Ketchum said. Me when Ho-Oh flies over.
that's pretty majestic. This episode of Sad Boys is sponsored by GLD.
All right, think about this for a second. Everyone has those go-to pieces, right?
Like the shoes that go with everything?
Or like the jeans that fit just right, and so you have to buy 900 pairs because you'll never find that fit again.
A t-shirt that looks good with anything you pair it with?
Exactly. You don't overthink those pieces. You just pop them on and they work every time.
You know you're going to like them. But most guys are missing one specific thing from that lineup. Jewelry.
Yeah, that's where GLD comes in. They make the kind of pieces that become a part of your routine, not just something to wear on a special occasion once in a while.
Just clean, quality pieces that instantly upgrade your fit, make you look more fresh. Once you add a GLD chain to your rotation, you will never go back.
GLD only uses real gold. Every single stone is meticulously hand set. Plus, they use a proprietary production process that ensures the highest quality for your jewelry, and you can see and feel the difference.
This is one of those pieces you put on, and then it never comes off. It does. I mean, you can take it off.
You can take it off,
And
but
you
you
can-
won't want to.
Unless you're putting on another one. Unless you're putting on
There you
another
go.
piece of GLD.
Now you're thinking. And GLD has everything. Chains, pendants, rings, earrings, even fully iced out watches. Whatever your style, GLD's got you. GLD offers something for every budget, from 18K gold plated to solid gold and natural diamonds. Whatever you're looking for, you can find something at every price point.
But don't just take our word for it. Over 2 million customers, 50,000 5-star reviews back it up. Not to mention, it's worn by some of the biggest names out there. We're talking Justin Bieber. We're talking Micah Parsons. We're talking A$AP Rocky. And a ton more.
The best part, every single piece is guaranteed for life. It's literally built to last for the rest of your life.
Work hard and change the game. Game.
For a limited time only, new customers are getting a ridiculous deal. Use code SADBOYS to get 40% off at GLD.com.
40% off with code SADBOYS at GLD.com.
And after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. You can tell them us.
Look, tell the truth. Tell them it was us.
Tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you, GLD.
Thanks to GLD for sponsoring this episode of Sad Boys.
Now back to this episode of Sad Boys. By the way, if Pocopia, oh wait, no one here but me has played Pocopia. Well, in Pocopia,
Getting laid.
there are these feathers that fall from the sky, and they are rainbow and silver. And I think you can imagine what sort of feather could fall from a rainbow-esque Pokemon.
A rainbow.
A rainbow feather.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to know the Pokemon, but anyway, Swanna. It's a Swanna feather. So anyway, they like the rainbow one falls and it's burning hot, and you have to like cool it off. And if that were happening in Ash's time, it would be like Ho flies over him and just eviscerates Pallet down because it's like burning.
Yeah, that would be like a apocalyptic event.
Yeah. Oh God, the feather's huge.
So speaking of things that are really expensive and
Okay.
No.
when they're realized they are not good.
What about like a figurine?
Like a $300,000 blue Mustang statue. I mean, it's really good actually. It's a
really
very
cool.
good statue.
Is that doesn't that feel crazy? That's 300 grand.
Do you
It's like
want? Do you want
Fucking
it?
huge.
It is really.
So
big.
you're saying that's a steal?
Not worth getting killed by.
I was gonna say also the size of it. I think it's the size and the material, because I'm like, I could stack up some cardboard boxes and it would
That's
be
true.
significantly cheaper.
And the spirit, I guess it's imbued with his spirit, which is, I mean, priceless.
By the way,
Priceless.
cardboard boxes is how I would die with my sculpture. It's like Jarvis died packing
Jarvis found
magic cards.
You will be
Under-
crushed by your collection. is
I
how
will
you'll
be.
go.
In fact, it's
crushed
probably
under an impressive collection of
Ooh,
cardboard.
impressive.
Oh, thank you so much.
Should we talk about this Barbie
Local
Dream World
loser.
experience?
Yeah,
Jarvis Johnson, local loser,
Heartthrob?
thankfully killed by cards.
yeah. Let's do it.
What
All right.
kind of experience would you want to exist that's never existed? In this vein, like Willy Wonka experience, Barbie Dream World experience.
Probably Pokemon World.
But that's a thing.
Yeah, well,
Already.
only
You want, like-
very recently and only in Japan.
You want like all of Pallet Town. Like you want the whole thing.
Well, so I want like one of those like active theater experiences where like everyone's like in on it,
That's cool.
and then I Okay, it's like a world where instead of being an 11-year-old boy, you're actually like a 33-year-old man.
And the only in a Japanese only park, and you don't speak Japanese.
Yeah, and everyone speaks English to me. And I get to choose my first partner Pokemon, and I get to walk around and live in the Pokemon world and battle people. And I want the experience that happens in all these video games where I have a unique talent by doing mediocre game actions.
We want
Like,
to be a white guy.
My favorite
We
thing
don't have
about
to do a lot, but we're very beloved. For
my
no
favorite
reason.
thing about these games is that like I just pressed X and everybody's like, no one has done. You are
crazy?
incredible.
Wait,
You have done something that no one has been able to do.
so you're telling me when
You
I
might be
played
the chosen
Scissors, you played this rock? Are you crazy?
For years, I've been losing to Rock, and I don't understand how I'm supposed to win.
You
Maybe
came
the
to the
guy-
paper gym.
Everyone's only ever used paper. Yeah.
What if the guy who splashed water on you and then disappeared? What if he also said stuff like that to you?
Just affirmations.
Oh my God, no one has woken up as good as you're waking up right now.
It needs
don't
to be
believe it.
more than just one man. It needs to be everyone in the world.
Yeah, applauding. It's at the end
Okay.
of Ava.
Yeah, and that's why I would pay top dollar for this experience.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna do Candyland, but it's all
Horrifying.
like kind of umami, like lunch.
Umami
It's like
land.
brunch food. You know
No,
what I mean?
Candyland, but it's
Umami Land. You
Candyland.
mean Miami, Florida?
Seriously, guys,
It's like mushroom toast.
something like that.
It's like beans on toast. You
I
like
don't know
that
what I'm
shit?
doing.
That's cool though.
It's like it's like beans on toast. It's like
Ladies.
it's like beans on toast. It's like
It's like beans on toast.
like
It's
beans on toast.
Wait,
Jordan.
I want to meet Gungans.
Mm,
Go Gunga.
That'd be fun.
I want to meet Boss Nass. Or wait, Navi Land is closed, right? Land of Pandora, whatever. It's like gone.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know that was a thing.
You go praise AWA for $60 an hour.
yeah,
or
the Blue
whatever.
Man Group had to go on tour, so they had to cancel it.
No, it's still there.
Oh shit! Should we
It's
go?
in Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park.
Animal
in
Kingdom.
Florida.
Just blue.
Yeah. they're
Was it
not-
Florida?
Yeah.
we
Guess what
go?
else is in Florida?
Oh, Mommy Land, which is what I called
Mommy Land.
Miami. Miami.
So-
Welcome to Miami.
Oh wait,
Remember that?
is this Barbie Dreamworld Experience in Miami?
No.
Where is it?
The scene is Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Fort Lauderdale. It is in Florida though. Shout out.
That kind of tracks.
Fort Lauderdale, not too far from me.
$250.
Oh.
You get a big horse for that.
On average.
So $250, you're thinking of times 1,000. But
All right.
$250 is probably what you would pay for like a top notch con experience, right? Like
I mean, there are cons that are $60 and are great.
well, okay,
So
yeah, sorry. I mean
is
what
like the highest end.
what I
con
mean is, yeah, I
experience.
guess instead of top notch, I mean like in terms of like famous conventions,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
big
if it's like San Diego Comic Con.
yes.
And you
I
get
would
to, like,
expect
hold-
that. I wouldn't be happy about that, but I'd expect that.
But for
from them.
$250, you get to like hold David Tennant's hand.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
it's also like how much it costs to go to Disney, right?
Disney
like,
can
Disney's
be
gotten
that
really
much. Yeah,
expensive.
it's really.
Like-
I think like between like 100 something, like 150.
Wait, what can we
to
look at what the
250.
price of Disney?
I will say that's the average ticket price. So there are
Jesus
$72
Christ.
for
Oh,
a
okay.
single day pass to
The pink pass.
$152 for a general pass, and then premium passes are $252 to $452.
What am I getting for
That's
that?
insane.
What am I getting for my premium
Yeah,
pass?
Dream Pass. What do we get?
The ultimate experience. All general pass perks. That's tricky to say.
General Pass Perks Plus.
Plus, priority
Priority.
queue for main stage programming, priority queue for marketplace, $50 coupon for autograph and photo op experiences, not included $50 coupon. Shortcut queues for celebrity autographs. Is that not a priority queue? Whatever. Access to 2027 so I can buy more tickets.
Stupid.
Access to dedicated hotel block.
Dumb. Swag bag full of bullshit that nobody wants.
No, but maybe for $500 you're getting like a
but-
diamond encrusted.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. If you have a swag bag to me is like I would pay someone to take it away from me.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
nylon
you need
burden.
So if there's actually value in the swag bag, you have to bend over backwards to communicate it.
Yeah.
And
why
the
are you
fact that
hiding
they
what's in it?
Included exclusive badge and lanyard as one of the things.
Oh,
as
yeah.
A lot of hardware.
As if that's not
Offering
everything.
a nice lanyard.
Oh, a
no,
lanyard.
thank you.
Well, it costs a good nickel
Yeah,
to
like-
I don't
produce.
want one that tells people I overspent.
Like, I will say, I just went to a convention over this past weekend, and it's one of the biggest in the Midwest for like a general Comic-Con. About $175 for the full
3-day.
3-day pass. You get a lanyard and badge with it.
Wow. Did you get a swag bag
No,
at PAX?
but that's not the VIP. That's just it's all 3 days. and
Back
it's-
in the day, when I would go to like PAX every year, you would get a swag bag and it was full of bullshit. And then sometimes, because it's full of ads. It's
Yeah,
full of
so
Yeah, it's like
stuff that,
sponsored.
that the sponsors paid to give you because.
like a TurboTax sticker or something.
Yeah.
Like,
However,
cool.
there was at least one time where we got like Magic the Gathering sample decks, and that was a really smart thing to do because we could play in line.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was very smart. Can we look at how much Disney? Can you just Google it real quick? All right, so it ranges from 7-tier demand-based system. Dude, we are so cooked. 7-tier demand-based system.
It's bad.
Anyway, $104 on the low. So I will say that $104 and $72 I would consider in the same tier of pricing.
Sure.
Though this does scale up,
It's
obviously.
like a ticket to Disneyland.
I mean, it could be on a cheap day.
One of the big pieces of their marketing for this event was this like Barbie Dreamhouse visual, which is iconic to like the Barbie brand.
That's real.
Which they did license Barbie brand everything from Mattel for this event.
And that's where all of the budget went.
But Mattel was not putting this event on, which is I think an important distinction.
And it's also a little bit of a miss on Mattel's part because I understand you can license Barbie, but
Yeah.
you
have to be picky about how you're licensing it.
Yeah, because even if it's like a flat fee that you have to pay, I feel like there needs to be some sort of approval process for
Especially, I mean,
usage of the brand.
there is there's an erosion of the brand, and like Barbie, I feel like branding wise has never been in a stronger position. So it feels weird to not capitalize on that with putting your best foot forward, as opposed to just like straight into a banana peel.
Now, in the defense of Mattel, I guess, which I don't need to defend this gigantic toy company, but I am getting the vibe that their slide deck was all AI generated complete lies.
They're promoting Dreamhouse photo op.
So it's like a Target ad.
Yeah, it looks
promising
it's
a
like an event.
Yeah. A larger than life version of Barbie's iconic front
Oh,
yard.
it's just a photo thing.
And here is the photo of that promised larger than life Barbie dream house that has been sort of like the image going around the internet.
I'm gonna guess it looks exactly like that.
This is
It's always in the grayest facility ever.
Because here's the thing: if it's in okay. So first of all, if you are renting out a convention center, you are fighting an uphill battle, and the reason why is because the convention center is going to look like a convention center, and if
AKA an airplane hangar.
AKA an empty warehouse / airplane hangar with rooms that may or may not have chairs.
The most effective place to murder someone. Like, the creepiest possible.
In the
location.
highest, like the highest like tier version of this, like you have the opportunity and the ability, and it is very expensive to do so, to create like your visual decorations and stuff to span the whole space. And usually places pick and choose their battles on how to reformat the place. VidCon the last year, I was a little like, it felt like they were cutting corners, and so it was giving a little bit airplane hangar
bit
vibes.
sparse.
Pokemon Worlds, which was also at the Anaheim Convention Center, I'd never seen. They transformed that place. I'd never seen everything change. Like, and obviously Pokemon has like an unlimited marketing budget to do this, but they had flipped things that I didn't even think you could flip. Like in terms of like changing the walls and changing the whole thing. It felt like everything was
They terraformed
themed. They terraformed the whole thing. They took it down block by block and built it back up.
I guess sometimes also facilities like this, like there's so many famous bad photos from DashCon, like a famous nightmare. And it also looks like this because I feel like a lot of what fills out a space like this is supposed to be product tents and stuff, right?
This is what my Pocopia habitats look like, where it's like it'll be like a dungeon, and then there's like a bright little habitat for Bulbasaur.
Yeah, that's Joltik's house, and then it's like the rest of it is just a cavern.
It's a cavern where Graveler lives. This episode of Sad Boys is sponsored by ZocDoc.
You ever think about how life, right? Big old puzzle, in it.
Yep.
And you're like, I'm trying to fit in my career. I'm trying to fit in my passions. I'm trying to fit in my relationships, my finances, and of course, my healthcare.
Right.
That's like one of the ones in the middle where you can't really start. You're like, that's so hard.
It's so hard.
What the hell do I do? How do I find a doctor, say?
But it shouldn't be that way, Jordan. It shouldn't be the trickiest piece to fit into the puzzle. And ZocDoc makes it easy to find and book a top-rated doctor that fits your needs.
ZocDoc is a free app and website that allows you to find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can find one that you love.
Whether you're looking for dermatology, dentistry, primary care, eye care, any of the 200-plus specialties offered on ZocDoc, you can easily search by specialty or symptom to find the doctor that fits exactly your needs.
Want to see your doctor of choice in person? No problem. Want to do a video visit? You can do that too.
View thousands of verified patient reviews to give a true, real sense of who your doctor is, whether they hate small talk as much as you do or root for the same sports team as you. You can feel confident that you're booking a doctor that's right for you.
And when you're ready for this doctor visit, you can see their actual real-time availability and click to instantly book that visit. No phone tag, no waiting around.
Appointments through ZocDoc happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours, but you can even get same-day appointments, which is pretty neat.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/sadboys to find and instantly book a doctor you'll love today.
That's ZocDoc.com/sadboys, ZocDoc.com/sadboys.
Thanks again, ZocDoc, for sponsoring this episode. This is the kind of location, which is why people say don't go to a second location with a first date, because they take you here
in the VW bus.
This is foul. Like, I'm looking at it. This is visual food poisoning.
It's a one-dimensional piece of poster board.
Yeah, you're
almost.
Right.
It looks like
plywood.
I guess there is a slight dimensionality to it.
So you can't go in it though, right?
By the way, this is how the buildings felt in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
Like where everything is just a complete flat, uninteractable space.
I'm trying to figure out why. I can never. Maybe it's because the two teams operate independent of one another. It's like pitching and marketing, and then fulfillment ends up just being some third party that got no budget and doesn't know what they're doing. But like, why do these teams always overpromise and then dramatically underdeliver? Don't even put an image of the dream house on there. Just say, hey, Barbie, we're doing a Barbie thing. Go see it. Don't say like we're doing a Barbie, basically a manor that you're going to be able to go in and hang out with everyone, and Barbie's real.
This does feel like the commercial versus it's like the Subway commercial versus the Subway sandwich. You know?
Yeah, the Subway specials or whatever.
A dream experience in Amsterdam that's cool, right?
A dream experience? Like
Barbie dream.
It is still Barbie. Oh.
That, is essentially a cafe and then a series of selfie stations with props and stuff. But they're pretty cool. Like they look cool.
And do we have some photos? And
you can sell coffee. Like there's some revenue source.
Now we're talking. So I just want to say something. Ask something. Do they call the one in Amsterdam Barbie the Dream Experience, and then the one in Fort Lauderdale is also Barbie the Dream Experience?
This is the one in Fort Lauderdale was Barbie Dream Fest because it was a temporary
event.
But like it is framed as a convention.
Wait. Ooh. Oh wait,
this
so
is
that's
the Amsterdam.
Okay. Wait, but look at the branding. They do the same font.
It's like the same thing.
Since 1959, Dream Experience.
Yeah, wait, so they're literally like, oh my God.
Oh, so was Mattel just thinking like, yeah, they'll do this.
They'll do this.
Yeah.
They'll do this in Fort Lauderdale.
And by the way, this is how you sell this because you actually see people doing. You can't fake.
Yeah.
Like you can fake this, but it would be way more
But
misleading.
what happened to
Right.
the house from the first photo? That lady
Wait,
was
and so
stood in front of the real house?
Did the Fort Lauderdale one have a website?
Kind of.
Mm.
So I will
Always a tell.
Yeah, good to know.
If
I
the
will
answer is kind
show
of.
you their current website is this.
That's it.
Thank you for joining us at Barbie Dreamfest.
Oh, they're
Please
done?
contact help with any questions.
It like hit midnight for the organizers. They turned back into dolls.
They do have an Instagram that is still active.
Why?
And guess what? Instead of taking photos at selfie stations, they promised photos with Serena Williams.
What?
Wait, Serena Williams was there?
Serena Williams was there. Apparently, Angel Reese also showed up.
Oh no.
So no, you like Angel Reese.
I love Angel Reese.
Yeah,
I
I-
don't want her.
to be associated with this.
Yeah.
Serena Williams is one of the greatest of all time.
Serena Williams got a
Oh my
Barbie.
God.
Barbie made a Serena
Madison
Williams.
from Love on the Spectrum was there. She must have been incredibly disappointed.
Does she like Barbie?
She loves all like toys and crafts and beads, and
Cute.
she's awesome.
Oh wait, is she from a couple seasons ago?
She just last season.
Oh, okay, then never mind. I was like, I remember seeing a Love on the Spectrum season with somebody who liked beads, but maybe it was earlier.
Maybe she was-
They had mainstream celebrities, so of course people went. Oh, someone is Emily Calandrelli is
The
no longer-
last thing they posted is disappointment. Emily Calandrelli got sick, and so they said, "Oh, can
Okay.
I just ask? I don't recall Barbie having a lot of like cosmic imagery. Why is there like Jupiter?
Emily Calandrelli is stuck in space.
Oh no! I hope
She
she
was
gets
on
better.
her way to Saturn, and then she got lost.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Or
did I say
sick,
Jupiter?
or-
One's gonna laugh.
She got sick with loss. She got
I mean-
lost with sick.
A lot of their images do just look like pink stock photos / AI images,
I
right?
would love if Earth had like a big ring. Wouldn't that be cool?
Why would
You
you
could
love
look
it?
up, see big ring.
Yeah, but I don't
you
think
can
you can
sometimes see
see.
Milky Way.
I don't
I
think you
can
see big
sometimes.
ring. I could be wrong. I don't think you see
It's hard
Jupiter
to
ring.
see the ring.
If I'm
from
on
the
planet, I don't see
planet.
big ring.
It's just gas, right? And particles.
It is just gas. I mean, well said.
It's just ring.
I was thinking about how I saw a video of here's what a giant banana would look like that was in Earth's atmosphere that was like rotating around. And so it's like you look at the horizon and there's just like a giant banana like rotating. And I was like,
wouldn't that be cool as well?
that would be. I thought a lot about how cool that would
Dude,
be.
what if we could live on Halo? And you get to look
Okay.
up and see your friends in like the other side of the planet.
Maybe I can see your halo.
That would be
Like,
nice.
like the great Beyonce once said. She was there.
Could have been. Who's to say?
Did you see that recent image of an eclipse? One of Mars's moons eclipsed Mars. And it was like, oh, here's this like beautiful image of the Mars
Sorry.
eclipse.
I'm so fucking stupid. For 1 second, I just went like, well, it's always eclipsing it. It's going around it. You know what I mean?
Man.
It's kind of always there.
Going around in an eclipse.
Depends where you are.
And it's like such a dinky eclipse. It's like not pretty at all.
Don't hate.
Does anyone know why there's a thing about supporting the Barbie Dream Gap project, but then donations made through Barbie Dream Fest are not tax deductible? But that's like one of the things with donations.
What
so
is
I'm
the
like,
Barbie
if
I guess it's not a non-profit.
it's not a nonprofit,
It's a
so if
tip.
you're doing a pass through, it like doesn't interesting.
what's the okay?
Like you should
Nothing.
just donate directly to them then.
Right.
I,
I mean, it's because it's Mattel. It's a Mattel thing. So it's about closing the various gaps of women in,
I see
in
Dream
various
Gap.
like fields, which is cool, like combating gender stereotypes and biases. This is like Mattel's thing, and it has nothing to do with the Barbie like catastrophe. A lot of these things feel like they're just like their appeasement for getting the approval from Mattel.
We can look at some of the other accounts from the event.
Yes.
It asked you to choose your country or region, and you just said no.
So just as you're pulling that up, we've got real celebrities. So did Serena Williams show up?
Yes.
Wow.
Respect. So she's probably getting a bag for that. Like this sounds
Did
more and more
Angel Reese
expensive as
show
we're
up?
going.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. It's a very expensive meet and greet.
but they do have a big blow up sign. So
I mean, we know how expensive those can be.
here we shine. Dreams start here. Okay.
Why does it contain AI generated media? Is it because they're going to show the ads from the Barbie thing? I'm worried.
I'm not one to complain, and usually I just suck it up. But at this Barbie Dream Fest, it said it opened at 9. We weren't let in till 9:45, and vendors were still arriving and setting up shop.
See, that's like one of those. That's like a telltale sign because everyone knows the vendors get there hours before.
Yeah.
Classic. We've heard this before with the Book Talk Fest.
Yes.
Disaster.
That's what
Like
keeps you
mismanagement,
there, right?
disorganization.
That's like if you went to like a restaurant for lunch and the chef was turning up a couple hours late. Like that's half the event. You can go take a photo at the photo op, but mainly you're going to the booths.
Yeah. Because like what else is there? There's a you can take a picture next to a photo of a house.
Yeah, I can do that at my house.
A rough sketch of a house.
Yeah.
There's actually a bunch of houses where I live.
And it was very underwhelming. The space was huge, and there was just so much emptiness. This was their 80s roller skating rink, which was tiny and had no lights. There was no way any adults would have been able to skate in there. This was their Barbie dream house, a cardboard standing box with a VW wagon. It would have been nice, but the doors were closed, so you couldn't even go inside of it. As you can see, everything else
It is
was
a piece
just
of
spread out,
cardboard.
open, very
here.
empty, very scarce, and it was just fee after fee.
Ooh. So I'm wondering, a lot of times they get a space that's too big. So it's like, just get a smaller space.
Right.
But then if you get a smaller space, you can't sell as many tickets. Is that like what the
Maybe.
thing is? Is
It
Where it's
didn't
like-
look like they were selling that many tickets anyway.
Yeah.
Is it just
It looked more packed if they...
Over predicting ticket sales, not a good idea for your first outing.
Over predicting the size of the dream house might have been an issue.
Over
Like-
predicting your ability to host an event.
Yeah, I just think it's, it's better for these first time events to start very small.
Do we... Okay, I want to let this continue, but I am thinking about who put this on and do we know anything
Yes,
else
I
about
have their
them?
website.
Okay, great. So
Brilliant.
we'll get there.
There's always something there.
I mean, it seemed like there was so much to do. This is a huge space, okay? At the Broward Convention Center, it is empty. Empty, okay? Even some of the things, like, you have to pay for everything extra. So we paid for $70 a ticket to get in, $20 to pay for parking, and then on top of that, you're paying for a picture. You're paying for every little thing at every little vendor. Come on now, like, this is what you get for free.
What are the
This.
vendors selling?
She got an exclusive lanyard.
Yeah, she got to exclusively go to the same area as everyone else and priority lines in the lines of 2 to 3 people max.
Yeah, I think I'd pay $70 for a pink plastic thing that says Saturday on it.
And I can keep that. And a swag bag full of like...
Hey, hold on.
Glasses
Swag bags
containers.
for the $500
Yeah,
tickets
she didn't
only.
get a swag bag. She didn't pay $500.
You got to get that swag bag. There's a pair of sunglasses in there where the arms don't close.
It's a piece of cardboard. It's a photo of sunglasses.
3D eraser.
Yeah.
You can take apart into like 3 different parts.
It's a Post-it that says Serena Williams on it.
Ooh.
It's signed by no one.
To clarify, you are able to roller skate for free. You are able to ride the bikes for free. You can go to the Michaels vendor and you are able to take a picture, they print it for you, and you can decorate your own frame for free. Michaels saved the day for this event because it was not worth what we paid for, and I recommend you do not go.
Is this Michael's the store?
The craft store.
The craft
yeah.
store. That's cool.
She also, in a later video, was talking about how her daughter, the bikes that she was talking about on that little course or whatever.
The most fun place to ride a bike.
The course is you can dodge the tables that we didn't move out of the way.
But
Yeah, sorry.
she has another video where she's talking about how her daughter was told that she was too tall to ride the bikes.
What?
You must be this small.
I'm also like
Or her niece.
the roller skates, like I assume had some on hand.
That's
You
what
didn't
I'm
have to
guessing.
bring your own skates, I assume.
I mean, that's a lot of stuff you can do at home. Roller skates are pretty fun on just any surface, really.
They did look at the floor and go, "You could probably skate on this."
Yeah, I don't know. We could probably figure it out. At least the roller skates are kind of Barbie themed. I mean, I'm
My
sure she
niece
has
was
a
told
bike.
she was too tall to use the bikes at a Barbie Dreamfest event.
She was 9 feet tall. So this one's a little bit on that.
She's a 32-foot horse.
Yeah, and she did murder the vendors.
Never did it advertise any height requirements.
They're too small for you, but the roller skate will be able to.
That is
That's
a
a
little
child.
girl. That is a child.
If you're that much smaller than that, I kind of don't want you to put you on a bike. I don't know if
Why
that's
would
safe.
they? This seems silly.
How old is that size?
Yeah, you're gigantic, okay? You don't fit inside of my hand, the
What are
palm
you,
of my
about
hand.
10? Come on.
Get out of
Come
here. What are you
on.
doing here? Go
You're
do
too
your
old to ride a
taxes.
bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, why wouldn't you also just have a few bigger bikes for
They should have
different-sized
adult
kids?
bikes.
I don't know what it
You
is.
know?
The visual of like a little girl getting turned away from this like already horrible experience, like it boils my blood.
Yeah.
That is like dystopian. That's
Yeah.
so sad. Inside of this airplane hangar.
Oh, at least this. I mean, I'm sure this lady's getting paid $1 to do this. Yeah.
I wish you would have said when we signed up that you had to be a certain height.
I know. That's what.
She was really looking forward to riding the bike.
I know.
Because there's literally nothing else to do.
Yeah. She was really
Also-
looking forward to standing on this pole.
Also, maybe I'm crazy. She's not too big to ride the bike. It's just that someone somewhere decided what the height requirement was at the last minute for some sort of safety or regulation reason.
In fact, just take the money that you spent on this height measuring thing and
Yeah.
just buy an extra
Get a
big
different bike. Yeah, we can get and then our bike for giants is right here.
Yeah, so the company that put this event on
Nightmare Part 1.
Mischief Management.
Oh my god. That's a Harry Potter reference.
That's a Harry Potter reference.
And there's nothing wrong with referencing Harry Potter, but
Don't know if I'd choose to do it.
what I was going to say is they chose a very funny phrase given this event.
Yeah, that's true.
They once I scam people, mischief managed.
Nailed it.
a few of their slogans that they have on the front page of their website are harnessing the power of fandom and we know fandom, we know fans. They're based
fans
That's
by
written
fans.
by
New Jersey.
AI.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Did they say if you scroll down, there's a little paragraph? Did it say 15 years? For more than 15 years, Mischief Management has produced events and media that speak to the vibrant and passionate fan communities in pop culture and entertainment. By embracing the energy within fan communities, we can create a more exciting world together.
And how many did they list above? I believe it's 3.
There are 3 events that they have listed on their website.
Nice.
Barbie Dreamfest, Broadway Con, and Enchanticon.
Was it just,
I'm not familiar with any of these.
you haven't been
but,
to Barbie Dreamfest?
No.
Oh, we just missed it.
Our story. Wait, yeah. I would see the thing is, here's where you would tell me like a little bit about the events that you've hosted. Oh, look.
Get away from him. He's evil.
They do have a Wikipedia.
He does not like the Marauders.
I mean, oh, this isn't Enchantfest, so that's like maybe a Harry Potter adjacent thing because it's kind of got that font.
That's so Mr.
Wait, is that what that says? What the fuck does that say?
I don't know.
It's wait, did they do LeakyCon? Is that LeakyCon?
They do LeakyCon.
Oh my god, it's the LeakyCon, people.
What the hell is LeakyCon?
It's a Harry Potter convention.
Why is it called LeakyCon?
The Leaky Cauldron. It's
what an awful
on
name.
Diagon Alley. Guys, okay, this is I'm gonna push back on this.
Leaky?
This is old. This is old school.
There's just so many. There's so many words
Yeah,
associated
yeah.
with Harry Potter. To go with leaky
Yeah.
creature.
Yeah. That is it. I, as a former member of the Harry Potter fan community, am familiar with LeakyCon.
The Leaky
Missouri.
Cauldron was a fan website, right?
Yeah. We're going back to my MuggleCast days.
Mm-hmm.
You
This
can't
is
say that
in
word, bro.
early 2000s.
Oh, parallax scrolling. Wow. Now these two, from Enchanticon and Broadway Con, those seem like much easier premises to like deliver on because it's kind of established, right? Get a bunch of people from Broadway, do big showcase, have a stage, blah, blah, blah. But to be completely honest with you, I just don't think the Barbie thing should have been a convention.
Well, I can totally. Again, we've seen the Amsterdam one, and that all makes sense. Where's the in
That
the
seems like it's
Amsterdam
mainly a photo op, though, right?
Well,
it's not like
can we look at the Amsterdam one? Because it seemed like there was a couple different activities, but I'm not sure
There's
where.
like a cafe, and then there's like a bunch of like, if you go to their Instagram,
Because you remember,
There's a
you know
ton of
what the what would have made sense for something like this is, do you ever go to the Museum of Ice Cream?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that type of, feels
That's
like that.
essentially
I felt
what
like
the
that was
Amsterdam
what
one
BarbieCon
is.
was. I was at BarbieCon.
I mean, there's tons. Yeah, I mean, especially in LA, there's just tons of like, basically an Instagram location.
Exactly.
You go there for the photos.
All you need is an Instagram location.
Oh, no, I can read it in Amsterdamese.
Also, you can see some on their Instagram, some of the food that they sell, and it looks okay.
Edible?
Who knows if it's as
plastic.
good as it looks, but
Okay, this is written in Amsterdamese. Hurdy-gurdy, birdie-gurdy word.
It does look like it's mostly like photo ops.
Yeah, you walk through life-size replicas of play sets.
Yeah.
The thing is, it requires like artistry to put on.
Yawn. Pass.
It's
No
just like
legs.
well
Oh my God.
made, like photo.
I mean, this
Options
makes sense, but this is definitely like more expensive to do than what they did.
Then make a shack.
Yeah, well, they didn't even make the
A
shack.
2D shack.
plus they
and
have
this only costs $25.
It's open year round,
or
looks like.
25 euros.
It's like
But
almost always open.
I assume it's like a walkthrough type experience, so you don't
Yeah.
get very long in there, I assume. Okay. I mean, look, this obviously is a successful event, and it looks like a thing that you would want to be at.
But it is like there's no vendor hall, or it's like a static project, right?
Yeah.
The goal of, I feel like there's so many con horror stories that I just, to this day, I don't understand why that is the default that people go for.
The thing about knowing it's the LeakyCon people, I'm like, business cannot be booming right now.
Yeah.
For that vibe.
so they've done LeakyCon, BroadwayCon, GeekyCon,
Nice.
Con of Thrones.
GeekyCon is when it's like, okay, you've heard of LeakyCon, but now let's try to make it general.
Wait, Con of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah,
That's not a pun. What about Game of Con?
Game of Con. That's what con artist.
A
gets
Con
to-
of Ice and Fire?
a Kong of Ice and Fire,
That's
where you
something.
put some peanut butter inside of a Kong, but you freeze it.
A Con.
Actually, it originated as a Con of Ice and Fire, first held in Nashville, Tennessee. This is all from
It's
Wikipedia.
like Westeros.
WesterCon.
Yeah, call it that.
Contoros.
Ned Con.
Kesteros.
calling it an interactive dream house and calling it larger than life.
I guess if I
I
kick
feel
it.
like is just like
That's
not
misleading.
true.
It's
I mean,
funny 'cause
anything's interactive if you just.
It's also smaller than life.
Yeah, it's
the
way
doors
too
are
small.
smaller,
Yeah.
too small for
It's
children.
like Roshi's house.
And the one in Amsterdam is actually interactive because you could climb up it and slide down the slide.
No, I mean the one in Florida is interactive. You can bite it, you can lick it, you can like shake
You could
it,
stand in front of
and
it.
fall over. on
You
the
might be able
roller
to get
skates.
COVID if you shake enough hands.
Yeah, you can not ride a bike. Looks really good though. I can't believe we missed it.
I know.
They sent waivers so we could sign to ride those little bikes. This is the little bike thing.
This is
The first thing I noticed, there's a lot of empty space. They advertised the rolling skate, like the roll Jesus Christ, roller skating thing pretty hard, but it's literally like a little square. There's
What the hell is that back there? Oh, it's
you know,
probably like
some
equipment.
vendors, a couple vendors. We walked through earlier, not a lot of the vendors are even selling Barbie stuff or little things.
Yeah, what kind of vendors? Because you have to have the license to sell something Barbie related. So what do the vendors even do? I guess the craft one makes sense.
Yeah, I think
They sell
There
tiny
was-
bicycles.
one part on their website where they're saying that like the page doesn't really work anymore, but that they had stuff for like Barbie collectors.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I see. It's like like insanely overpriced resale stuff or like collector-y
Yeah.
prices.
Yeah, I'm wondering, do we have anything about the celebrity meet stuff? Serena always receives Icon Award at Barbie Dream Fest.
Oh, why do they have a panel? what is this? I assume you just take a photo with them. I thought it really feels like an event that was made by people that heard about events, not someone with 15 years of experience. It feels like okay, so what's at a con?
I've heard people
a
are
stage?
doing these things and
Yeah, it seems
Go there.
crazy to have so many years of experience with events and do this. Can we play this?
And don't be afraid to go for whatever wild dream you might have or whatever it is, you know, just go for it, believe in you and strive to do your best. And I think that's what it's all about. And the sky is the limit, and it's going to take forever to get to the sky, so that's your limit.
So one thing that's funny to me is that they can never pan too far because you run out of the bounds.
Yeah.
It's like, it feels like it's like it works just in frame, and the second they go out, you realize it's like they're in a giant empty room.
Yeah, you'll show like it's like on a sitcom. You'll see the boom mic operator like.
I just found a TikTok that said so Serena Williams like kind of was in conversation with someone else, and then you could get a photo op with her. You had to pay an additional $379.75.
What an incredibly specific price.
Yeah.
It is always funny. I know, obviously, like she put so much work into her career and is you know praised rightly so for that. But it is always funny to me, specifically when athletes talk about you can just go for whatever you want with enough hard work, you can achieve it. I'm like, okay, but not in tennis.
Yeah.
Like, you got to also be like preternaturally physically talented.
You've also got to be doing it from like a pretty young age. Your window to be a Olympian sometimes closes.
It's getting pretty thin.
Yeah.
For us, now we're, as the kind of physical instruments we are,
Yeah.
could probably get into this.
Well, I'm thinking I could probably get into tennis.
I would probably just run over to where the ball is and hit it back.
I would
really
probably
hard.
just look down Carlos Alcaraz and say, "It's my ball, boy."
Stop.
I
Don't
would say,
swing.
"Don't do that," and my sheer aura would
Yes,
stop
sir.
him cold in his tracks.
Crush him with a charisma roll.
Yannick Sinner would be they call him Yannick Saint after I'm done with him.
Because like now he's nicer. Or...
Yeah, he's like nicer. Yeah, exactly.
Now knowing that this isn't their first event, you know, they've done events before.
They did Damp Con.
It actually makes me
Soggy
think
it's a little wet.
they went into it with too much confidence, and they should have scaled down
But
quite
they
a bit.
like literally just get one piece of the thing that's at the Amsterdam one.
Right.
Emulate one piece of that. The slide. I don't know.
I guess just like I do
a smaller
worry.
space is always the key.
I feel like I'm watching like the result of this isn't something that exists, but it feels like an influencer was like, guys, the newest way to make money is to do a con. You barely have to do anything.
Yeah.
And you charge everyone $100 for the tickets. Coming to Netflix, The Con.
April Fool's today, isn't it?
Oh gosh, it is while we're recording.
Hey, I like you.
Oh, come on, man.
Gotcha.
Can we do the same thing for Angel Reese? Just look at their tagged. I'm mostly just like curious what environments they put them in. Like the fact that we can only find one Serena Williams thing is probably because no one wanted to spend $400 on the photo.
Yeah, good point. Or maybe if she got tagged, she removed the tag.
So Angel Reese is invited. I have to assume because she has the nickname of Bayou Barbie. Is that right?
Oh, no tags. Oh, she's not allowed
She
tags,
probably
yeah.
turned off her tags, which makes sense.
Probably wise.
But you could probably find on TikTok her just being hashtagged.
I mean, because you probably think it's going to be cool. You get invited along to that thing. Yeah, Barbie movie was pretty great. I bet the con will be cool. They're like, here's some hay. We sprinkled some hay on the ground. What the heck?
I do like that the guests wore like a nice pink thing.
Yeah. I also enjoy that they keep them behind a tarp.
So Angel Reese being a professional basketball player, it is funny to see Angel Reese next to the backdrops where she is as tall as the backdrops. Like obviously they're built for children, I guess, but
This isn't a blessings. I think it's important for you to take every L on the chin and turn it into a positive and make it a blessing. I'm just so happy and grateful and graceful that I was able to experience everything in life that I have experienced, from the negative to the positive, because it has shaped me into the woman that I am today.
I thought she said shit. I thought she had died because that shit got me to the wood.
Because that shit got me.
Debunked. What the hell? Debunked the truth about Barbie Fest.
What, was it bad?
What's up, gamers? I am the guy, and I'm here to talk about the stuff.
Oh, what about? Okay, I'm gonna guess. Green screen background. Guy doing the millennial zoom, kind of floating in front of it.
Yeah, well, there's not even a guy, I guess. I see. Okay, I think I understand what this is now.
Fan.
This
is
the truth about Angel Reese at Barbie Fest.
This person is a W fan, and they're talking about.
Oh, it is. Hey, there we go.
Yeah,
got it. Green screen guy.
And how
he's not hitting the millennial zoom though.
Ultimately embarrassed. It was 15 to 20 people only that showed up.
Oh, damn.
What?
Nobody was there. She ought to be embarrassed.
She
Well,
should be embarrassed.
Oh, no. He's talking about the haters. He's saying they're saying this. They're saying she should be embarrassed. She shouldn't be embarrassed.
Why didn't she construct a bigger house with her own hands? Thank you for joining us. Please
she
contact
didn't know it was
help.
going to be like
So I
this.
think he's saying people are saying this, people are saying that. I'm going to debunk that. I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to email help@barbiedreamfest.com. Just be like, help me.
Need help with anything?
Yeah, I'm doing my taxes. Give me a
One
hand.
of my babies stepped on a sticker and it got stuck to her foot and she just went, help.
I guess I'm a little annoyed because I'm now starting to see that people love to like hate on Angel Reese. And so they're like being like, no one showed up. It was a flop. It's like, okay.
It's like when Brie Larson's in a bad movie. Like, this fucking idiot made a bad movie.
Yeah.
Not was in one.
Yeah.
That was like an actor from a movie.
Anyway, shout out Serena. Shout out Angel.
Shout out Barbie.
Come on the show.
Oh, well, I would die if Angel Reese was here. I
Come on
love
the
her
show.
so much.
Well, then come on the show
Yeah, come on
immediately.
Wait, don't try and kill me.
Angel, come.
Quick. There's no time to
There's no
explain.
time. There's no time to explain. Get over here.
I just turned into a skeleton and then dust and then blow away.
That would be so sick.
April Fools.
April Fools, we got you.
We tricked you into thinking we were going to kill you or make you die.
No, just kidding. Angel, come out. His blast away like Cell.
I melt like I'm on
Like you're
Indiana Jones.
Like you're a big guy that wakes Jarvis up in the morning and then turns into
And then
dust.
disappears.
Fuck, that does sound
He doesn't
good.
turn into dust because then I have to clean that up.
He just disappears.
He just disappears.
Into his dimension.
Oh, that's right.
He goes into a different dimension where ostensibly there's another version of me that he's helping out.
He's helping me out.
Yeah.
What else we got on the topic list?
Brother.
Okay, what is there to say about the Christy Noem husband thing? Christy Noem,
Has a husband.
Has a husband. His name is Bryon, but it's spelled with an O.
You know what's so funny? Me and
Game
my
of Thrones.
friends
And a Y.
were watching a movie together on Discord, and we were talking about this situation, and we just kept calling him Mr. Christy Noem.
Which I like.
Mr.
And
Christy.
now I am refusing to know his name.
You're refusing to know him?
Hardly.
So what's Christy Noem do again? I mix her up with what's her face?
Well, she was recently fired. She no longer has a job, but she
goes
used
sicko
to-
Christy
mode
Noem is the
on the
one
house.
who's clan.
Yeah, Christy Lynn Arnold Noem.
She was
So
she
funny.
was the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Right.
But then she went sicko mode.
But she got
who am I
fired
mixing her
because
up?
they were using her as a scapegoat.
Yeah. An scapegoat. I love
Yeah.
when people say that. So she got fired because she spent all this money without Trump's approval. And then Trump, I mean, this is how it looks, I will say. So who knows if this is actually how it went down. And then Trump basically found out, I think he got asked about it and he didn't know. And then
He got deal
mad.
embarrassed.
He got deal embarrassed.
There's
and then-
one martial art.
And also, no one's got job security because it's like you have to look at him the wrong way and he'll fire
I mean,
you.
she was just it was almost like she was just like a lamb that he was like, I guess we could sacrifice it. I don't really care.
She was thrown under the bus for a few different things. They wanted to make it seem like they were doing it because of her response to the murders during the ICE raids.
She could be the focal point of that, and now it's like, oh, like we mended it. We got rid of that person that made that happen.
Reports recently emerged that she was having an affair with her subordinate Corey Lewandowski.
Oh, I've heard about this.
And so now people are saying she was kind of preemptively fired in order to avoid scandal because Trump's
Mission
camp
accomplished.
knew about both Corey Lewandowski and the boob stuff,
I feel like they have,
which we have yet to talk about.
We will talk about it, but I want to again talk once more about Christy Noem's public record, which is the $144 million that she allegedly spent. Wasn't that for like an advertising thing for like ICE or?
It's
Yeah,
it's
so
a
when you
commercial
come-
that's for reminding the American public that she exists, that we'll come and get you if needed. It's one of the most like
I've seen it at the airport. When you
strangely-
come to LAX, It says, "Welcome to America." She's on a horse.
It's this motion. It's like, I'm playing.
Look,
but we
she's
could.
on a horse playing. I can't remember. I think on SNL they said
Reagan.
playing cosplay as Jessie from Toy Story.
She's kind of bad though.
And she's kind of like, "Welcome to America. We'll get you."
It is that. It really is.
It
It's
is.
because it has almost the coding of like a pro-immigrant message for the first like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
She's like, and anybody's welcome here in our fine, the country of the free. Now, tread lightly.
In what universe
we will shoot you
is
at any
this
moment.
that expensive?
I know.
Like
it's
we
like,
could shoot this.
I
for
think it was
free.
a whole like
Yeah.
promotional campaign.
Yeah,
it was a whole laundering process.
Yes.
I think.
Fascinating.
And then also a bunch of airports refuse to play the video.
It's too cringe.
And that caused a whole.
Okay, so now we can talk about the boobs.
So
You just jump into it.
a sex worker, I'm pretty sure, if my sources are correct, leaked a bunch of photos of Mr. Bryon Noem. He essentially paid this sex worker to look at pictures of him with fake boobs on.
To look at them.
And
Of him?
interact kind of,
Yeah.
maybe this sex worker, maybe there was some cam stuff that was happening.
I'm moving around the slide pieces in the Resident Evil puzzle. So cherub key. He paid the sex worker to look at the photos.
No. That like videos, photos, interact. We don't know the extent to what they did together.
They were in some sort of tryst.
They were in some sort of exchange. let's say.
But like
devilish dance.
They became, because like if you're like talking to someone, you might, like if I'm dating someone, which 6'1" by the way,
put her there, pal. Nice. Practice that.
Then I may send you may get some like honestly photos I may not want to get out. Me in a top hat.
You dressed as the penguin.
Me dressed as the penguin from Batman.
Oh God,
the
eating
show The
fish
Penguin.
like he does in that one scene.
Me eating a fish sandwich. Like these are things that you're gonna get a photo of me if we're dating.
Different sandwich, but bunch of sandwiches.
There's a number of sandwiches I eat on a monthly basis, and you might get photos of me eating those sandwiches.
You don't want those to get out.
And if that it could ruin me if those things were to get out.
It kind of looks a lot like those public photos you have of your penis.
Well, who cares?
Yeah, everyone gives it.
Maybe the
I mean, it's like
still images of you two doing a thumbnail, posing for thumbnail.
Oh, I would so much rather my penis was published than a video of us doing thumbnails.
I mean, I think my lucky stars every day that the photos of me with my gigantic breasts are posted and not the ones where I'm posing for thumbnails.
It would genuinely the devil's gambit, dude. If Jacob threatened me to either release a photo of me doing thumbnails,
Bryon Noem is Harley Noem. Like likes to engage in like putting on some big boobies and taking photos, and it's like who cares? Like
and other kind of so the media is calling it cross dressing. I don't actually know what to call this because who knows what this man's goals are? Maybe it's just a fetish. Maybe
it's one of these instances that does seem to happen a lot where someone who is involved with the restriction and the marginalization of someone's like rights and abilities to like present themselves as they are, actively suppressing it.
Anyone
is engaging in some of the behaviors that they would call heinous and want to repress.
Yes, and
it's hypocritical. It's like repressive and by definition, I guess. And it's one of those situations where you just want to step back and say, if we were all just more accepting of one another, and didn't consider these things problems, then there wouldn't be an issue. But because they want to wield power, it's rules for thee and not for me. Yeah. I want to wield with an iron fist under the guise that I'm protecting some sort of I have some sort of moral imperative to prevent you from expressing yourself because of my religion or because of my whatever.
I'm like compensating for the fact that I'm actually on a very deep level going against the ways I was raised and the things that I feel intuitively. I'm gonna do the thing, but then I'm gonna get enough heaven points back by reducing 1,000 people's ability to do
Like
the
talking about being trans as if it's like this ideology of transgenderism and stuff like that. And then in the same breath, like being married to someone who's practicing gender performance. Like,
Can we watch a Instagram reel from a comedian named Dylan McKeever, who I love?
but
and
we're supposed to be the funny ones.
You don't like Casper?
She's trans, and
Okay.
she talks.
You win this round.
She talks about this in a way that I'm like, yes, so spot on.
Oh, but yeah, but before, I mean, I guess we said there's a bunch of photos of Bryon Noem with big boobies. Everyone's making memes about it. Christy Noem responded and said she was like blindsided by this
she
news.
essentially confirmed like that it's true. And then Trump
chill.
And she confirmed that it's true, but then also was like, and I didn't know a thing about it.
Never heard of it, but it is completely true. I can verify it, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can verify
and
it.
we have never had an agreement that I could sleep with Corey Lewandowski and you could do your boob stuff.
You can
and
sleep
we
with
could...
Corey Boobendowski.
We should have known by his name.
Boobendowski.
Oh.
This is what happens when you don't let trans people transition. They turn into a deeply closeted, cross-dressing bimbification fetish pay pig slut.
Jesus. Bars.
QTE.
Yeah.
B-A-L-L.
Oh my god. I wouldn't be able to hit that. Like that's like watching Let Me Solo Her do Melania or Melania.
No hit run.
Jesus Christ, I keep saying the name wrong. Because it's so close to Melania.
Melania,
Yeah. It's like pow, 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 pow.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. And sure, this could just be a cross-dressing fetish, but as a trans person, this would have been me if I had never come out. This is the future conservatives want for trans people. You never come out, you repress all of your gender feelings into this diamond of shame that only shines in clandestine online purchases of synthetic wigs and breastplates and women's lingerie, all of which you feel so guilty about you burn and repurchase every 3 months. They want your identity to be buried so far underground that your only option is to pay a sex worker $14 a minute to affirm your femininity. God bless them.
It's like paying off like a karmic debt. It's someone being like, it's like they are treating their desires and self and instincts as an addiction. They're
The demons have returned. I need to excise them.
It's fucked up. And then, hey, anybody else that's doing this addictive behavior must be punished because they're not fighting back. Do you remember when Steven Crowder just kind of like offhandedly revealed that he used to be bisexual and then kept referring to it as like, and you know, that bisexual demon that's always coming up in you and you know what I mean? Like we're all like that, right?
No,
but then you gotta push it back down, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, you gotta feed it. Feed your bisexual demon.
You gotta do another sketch where you're like dressing up as a woman and going to college campuses or something.
Dylan explains it very well by describing it as a diamond because it's like the pressure, like just the condensed, deeply packed pressure of like holding these things together. They create the diamond.
Shame like compresses until it just becomes hate, and then all of a sudden you like almost through your pores you just start excising it, and it's always. It's like there's a level of hate expressed where you're like, I see you. I know what you're doing. No, but if someone is like, I don't know how to describe it. If you are a 10 into anything, question mark for me. I'm like, if you're just really, really into Doritos, like a 10 out of 10, I'm like, it's a sex thing. You're doing a sex thing. No one is a 10.
Dorito shards.
Nice snack, but if it's all you think about, it's
Jarvis called them that.
Oh. Sorry, Jarvis.
Admit it. You've been
It
telling me
was so
you hate
funny
Doritos.
when you called them shards.
I did call them shards of Doritos.
Shards of Doritos.
We went. Jacob and I went to a Laker game last night, and there was like a Doritos activation, and you could get like these chicken nuggets that had like what I described as shards of Doritos on them.
Crumpled up.
It was really what it was. Is it was
pieces.
crumble. It was Dorito crumble.
It was like breaded in Dorito.
Like bottom of the bag.
But like they did less work than that. Yeah.
It was not a neat breading.
It was literally like they crumpled up a bag, dumped them out over the
Dusted the chicken.
They dusted the chicken.
How was it?
Pretty good, actually.
Bit shoddy.
Like, because I've had most of the food at Crypto, and I was like, oh, I'll try this because it's new.
Yeah.
And
I like shards.
it was better than I feel like most of the other food you can get there.
Crypto has notoriously awful food.
Yeah.
Do you want to finish watching this, or should we
Yes.
look at some boob pics?
While in your public life, you're married to this right-wing banshee who's had more facial feminization surgery than 20 dolls combined. Personally, I'd be jealous. Like, let me do one. There are cathedrals of suffering for those with eyes to see. But you don't have to live in that cathedral. You can come out. In fact, coming out as trans publicly was the most liberating thing I've ever done. Letting go of that shame, the best feeling in the world.
I think we're a day late, but happy Trans Day of Visibility.
Yeah. So Dylan put this out yesterday, and it.
What a timing!
And also, the boob pics came out
Right.
yesterday.
Oh my god!
And they became very visible.
I think we cracked it. Like the nipples inside of Bryon Noem's chest. By the way, those videos, it's like always like you can't buy a breastplate without a hard nipple. if you're
like
Bryon Noem.
A day-to-day set.
Another fascinating thing is some of the leaked images they do look like a fake boob breastplate, but some of them are just balloons in a shirt.
And that's something that I
It's
don't
like he didn't
know
have.
I don't know the most. I don't know the most, period. But Dylan described it as like bimboification. I know
Yeah.
that's a thing too, like the bimbo.
Like
I guess
slut
that-
shaming
that-
bimbo
No.
fetish.
The like bimboification is a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know very much about it, but I like the comically large boobs. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm a little out of my depth here, but
But wait, keep playing.
Yeah.
'Cause I think
but anyway, I just realized the timing of everything.
yes.
Love myself now. I get to be myself fully, and I can't be blackmailed. So happy Trans Day of Visibility.
Wow.
I love Dylan.
It's such a fun. It is like, it's just so. It's always so strange to me when you're in the height of observation, right? Like your wife has like a constant magnifying glass on them. When you got married, you knew that this was going to be a permanent part of your life and something you'd always be evading and denying, and et cetera, et cetera. I don't think you should be near politics. I think maybe if you're just going to be a hateful person, I don't know, work at like Bank of America or something.
The thing is, you don't follow those rules because you are a power seeker. You're like you're a power seeking missile.
I guess your goal is probably, I want to acquire so much power that this can't hurt me.
Right.
I want to be able to pay my way out of this kind of thing.
And it's also it's also very selfish because it's like picking up the ladder, as you're climbing up it, because it's like, I want to be able to live out my truth and create the world that I want.
Also, I never even went up the ladder. I am at the top of the ladder right now, and I am pulling it up, but I hate this ladder. I've never even touched it before, actually.
So like I think so last night or yesterday
When you lick the pictures.
when I saw these when I leaked them.
The devil.
God, I don't think the public knows who this sex worker is, but I just want to say thank you for your service.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. A real veteran.
But when I first heard about this, I had the same reaction. It was like, just go away and do your thing. Like if you're into something, like power or whatever, just do it in the privacy of your own home, right? Why do you have to go into public service and politics and ruin it for the rest of us? Right?
That's a kick.
But
It's like that's
the
the power kick, power fetish for power. Power fetish for power. In my mind, this type of thing shouldn't even garner outrage, but it's because of the harm that they cause.
Right.
The world they built.
So it's like a combination. It's like the world that they've contributed to creating and the community that they've cultivated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we live in a time where, you can find a community that will celebrate you for like being yourself. And it's not easy for most. And online helps with that. But like if you're in a small town or you're, London, maybe you could speak to this, like in terms of identity, like finding community can't always be easy, especially if you're like not surrounded by like-minded individuals physically.
Yeah, there's two sides to it of like one is you're like, oh, I am in a small, more conservative town. Like if I tell someone this is who I am, you never know how they're going to react. Either they're going to be completely chill with it, or it could be life ending, or not ending, ruining.
No, it could be.
It could be. Also could be.
It could be life ending.
Especially if you want it to be confidential with them and they have a bad reaction, then just
right. Or like if it's someone you're close with and you tell them and then you just lose that relationship entirely. Or on the other side, it can be a bit easier to find people because in an area so filled with like white Republican Christian moms, you see the teenager with short hair with a little bit of like blonde tips, and you're like, you're one of me.
You're looking at the tall
and so,
grass
like,
and seeing it shake a bit.
Yeah, but you still have to like
so
when
you're judging a book by its cover, but it works.
Right, exactly.
The cover, you're judging the name of the book.
You're judging the name of the book.
That kind of reminds me when I was in high school. You know, I went to high school in a Mormon town, predominantly. Arizona's predominantly a conservative state. And so my group of friends, like, we weren't one type. It was like the punks, the ravers, the goths, the queer kids, like all of the weirdos were one friend group.
You hung out with the weirdos?
Yeah, sorry.
I hung out with the jocks, the cool kids, the richies.
Yeah, what was
Well, I mostly hung out inside of my own.
Actually, that is.
I hung out with Xbox Live.
I hung out with Steam.
But I think you're right, because it's like, oh, I recognize that you're not this other type of normie.
That's a good way to bring it up. Like all of us, especially like in high school or middle school, like we all were in one group, and it often was the group that got made fun of because we're the nerds or the gay people or like the furries or something. It's all they all kind of get grouped together and they get made fun of by everyone else. But then when you grow up, you're like, oh, I'm the only one with a personality. We're the only ones with personalities out of the entire high school because everyone else was just looking at us the whole time and laughing.
I love the idea of you scouring around your high school and going like, hello, Kai. I think I found you.
Hello, Ace.
Amethyst, you say?
Oh, moss.
Oh,
hey, Oakley.
Oakley.
All the elements. That's earth, air, heart, fire.
I did have a friend whose parents named her Roxanne.
Oh, cool.
But she introduced herself as Rocky. And I was like,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Put on the red light.
Oh, don't. I keep forgetting.
Well, I have to admit that I have been laughing at some of the AI generated photos that keep coming on my feed because it's just like Marco Rubio with big naturals.
Yeah, so like if you haven't seen this already, lots of people are now photoshopping other right-wing politicians with biggins.
Or just a video of the past, like with somebody with huge boobs, and then they'll just work in Chrissy Noem's husband somewhere. It's so funny.
It's just a very, you know what?
And it's only funny because of the identity of the like, it's only funny because of the proximity to hate of the person.
If a staunch conservative xenophobe goes on vacation, overstays their visa and gets jailed, fuck them. I get you spend your life fighting against that happening. If that happens to someone who does not hold those views and does not work to make them worse, I'm like, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, it's like it is a little bit eye for an eye, which I don't like. Is that Hammurabi's code?
Yeah.
But it's like, and I'm not normally that way. And I do still like, I'll say I'm not normally that way, but I will reserve the ability to laugh where it's like, if you don't advocate for the rights of others, then like you can't be upset when people don't advocate for your rights or your visibility or your validity. You know what I mean?
The only tool also, like class consciousness wise, what else could anyone possibly do with this information other than point it out and laugh at them in a way that is non-exclusionary, but is to them? Because like, what the fuck are you going to fire them? You're not their manager. Like,
it's a similar thing to when like, it's like when people talk about like Grindr usage going up when they're during like CPAC.
Yes.
And it's like, no one cares if you're gay. It's that you guys hate gay people.
Yes.
Like, and you're trying to legislate them out of existence. It is sad because it's like, if you strip away the context, it's like they just want to be seen.
It
And
is really sad.
And that's I think the takeaway is like he's married to a evil demon, and like it's like I don't know what his actual personal views are, but you don't get to shy away from your married partner's views, especially when they're like
I mean, at this point, we have to play skepticism with essentially anybody in institutional positions of power, because I don't even know what Kristi Noem's opinions are. I only know what she is expressing and fighting for, and those are evil things. So, like, this guy, by association, I don't know, man. If we had, like, Justin Roiland on every episode of this show, it would be a bit, and we didn't ever talk about it. That's a bit weird, isn't it? At the very least, it's not like evil.
It's
but
like
if
it'd be
Kevin
weird
Spacey
if we even
maybe is a better comparison. Kevin Spacey's on every episode of Sad Boys, and at no point do we talk about it. It's like, okay, so
I mean, let me be frank,
then, right? Yeah, we have Frank Underwood. We don't have Kevin Spacey.
Let me be frank.
Well, I've got myself a huge breastplate of tits now. I suppose I might find myself a predilection to having enormous titties bimbified.
Okay, well, is this what we want to end on? Is there something that's like a little? Can we look at a video of a puppy or something?
A little less sexy.
No,
what's like a cute thing that I've seen recently?
Here, we can look at the video of Donald Glover meeting Yoshinobu, the Dodgers pitcher. So the Dodgers played in Japan recently, and famously the Dodgers have not only Shohei Ohtani, but like, what is it, 3 or 4 Japanese players who are like some of the best players,
and
baseball
a
players
Korean
of all time.
player, right? No, or is he still...
Well, we're talking about Japan right now, okay?
Okay, pal. Stop generalizing.
Okay, pal.
I didn't want to say the word Anastasia used.
But Donald Glover is the voice of Yoshi, and it's very funny because he campaigned. He like told his management to like tell the people that in charge of that movie that he wanted to be Yoshi. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he is called Yoshi. I mean, it's in the name, and so
he's from Yoshi's Island, Japan.
So Yoshi's Island, Japan, Mario 3, Japan, and they for the opening of the season, the Dodgers are playing in Japan, so huge crowds, huge news, huge deal.
Huge Yoshi.
Huge Yoshi. Speaking of huge Yoshis, Donald Glover throws out, this is sending out a Pokemon. He throws out the opening pitch with a Yoshi to his side, and then him and that Yoshi go into like the back of the whatever. They filmed this video, which is very cute, of them all meeting. Like, this meme is so tired, but I allow them an exemption because this is very cute. They act like 3 legends cannot coexist.
They added a little bit of flavor, which was crossing your arms back and forth, which I don't recall from the original meme.
No, that's a classic improv move from old Donald.
I'm realizing, I guess, Yoshi does not have the dexterity in the fingers to point, so he's getting them with the, the claw.
There's also a cute, if you close this in their Instagram, there's a Yoshi hugging Yoshi. Do you see that?
Oh,
so cute.
He's mogging.
Is Yoshi oh my god, I'm so stupid.
What?
It's obviously his shell. I was about to ask if Yoshi was wearing a backpack.
So this actually, shout out to the podcast Get Played with friend of the show, Nick Weiger. They went to Japan to interview the cast of the new Mario movie.
Whoa.
At the Nintendo Museum.
Wait, that's so cool.
I know, I'm so jealous.
Let's go.
And one of the...
I saw you got to meet Hideo Kojima.
He met Hideo Kojima, which they haven't even talked about on the podcast yet.
Jeff Keighley's friend? Whoa.
And one of the questions that Heather Ann Campbell asked was, is his shell removable or is it a part of his body like a turtle's? Or is it like a armor that he slides on?
A breastplate.
Did he have an answer?
No. No one knows, obviously.
He can't like introduce the canon. Yeah.
They discussed the possibility.
Yeah, you should crack it open. There's like a yolk.
Hard hitting.
It was. I saw something else about him getting the role where they were like, they're going to go a traditional direction with Yoshi. And they're like, Donald can do traditional. Just him saying Yoshi.
They're going a traditional role. We're going to get a dinosaur to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's DEI to not give it
Oh,
to
dude,
him.
imagine like the tweet where it's like, I cannot believe they didn't get a dinosaur to do this role.
Yikes, guys. Another DEI hire, huh?
Yeah. DEI for dinosaur equity included.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we had every episode of Sad Boys with a Party. Oh, wait.
Oh.
We're going over to Patreon.
Talk about High School Musical productions from around the world.
They haven't told me about what this is. We're going to talk about video games probably because I want to talk about that. Jacob and I went to a Laker game. Talk about that a little bit.
I will also throw out that in...
I'm going to be tired. You can watch me go to sleep.
In a little time, a little later this year, we're going to be doing this big fun thing, this big fun event thing that is not yet announced, but the Patreon will be the first to hear about it, including if you just sign up for the free tier. It's just a following. You get... Now, if you pay $5, you get Sad Boyz Nightz next episode every week. I'm not saying you're going to pay $5.
You don't have to do that, but you can.
If you go over there and you follow for free, no big deal. You'll essentially be the first to hear about this thing that's happening.
Hot off the presses news.
And I mean, it's a thing. If you're a fan of the show, you'll probably be a fan of this thing,
essentially.
But with all that being said, we end every episode of Sad Boys with a particular phrase.
We love you.
And we're sorry.
Baby.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it.
Girl, too rich for me.